LLC business owners, there's two ways to pay yourself through your LLC, and today I am going to show you both ways. As business owners, it's so important that we pay ourselves first. We're so busy trying to make our business go and grow that we have a tendency to pay ourselves last. But I want to educate you on the two ways that you can pay yourself so that you can start paying yourself first, so that you can start commanding your own income. The very first way to pay yourself is to give yourself a draw. And I want to use the term draw so that you understand the terminology when people are asking you how you are being paid. When you pay yourself on a draw, that's really simple. You're literally just going to write yourself out a check, or you're going to transfer money from your LLC bank account to your personal bank account, and that's going to be considered your draw income. But the second way to pay yourself is to actually pay yourself via a paycheck. And I want to explain the 4 steps on how to pay yourself via a paycheck and why you might want to do that. When you are a business owner, many times banks are looking for you to have that recurring paycheck. They don't like to give us business owners the clout we deserve for making income because it's not coming out to us on a regular recurring paycheck. So this is the reason why I want you to understand the 4 steps. Step number 1 is you need to decide how much you're going to pay yourself. And that's right, how much you're going to pay yourself. So for example, if you want to make $100,000 a year, you're going to be paying yourself $8,300 per month. You got to decide how much you want your salary to be on a regular recurring basis. Can you change it up? Yes, you can, but you at least want to have some barometer on how much you want to pay yourself. The second thing you have to decide is how often you want to pay yourself, right? Do you want to pay yourself once a month, 12 times a year? Do you want to pay yourself twice a month, 24 times a pay period, every other week, 26 times, or once a week, 52 times per year? The frequency is really important because when you're looking for financing, banks will look at that consistency to see, do you consistently pay yourself like this all the time? And that's something they don't typically tell you. So set the frequency of how often that you want to get paid. The third thing that you have to do is you need to select a payroll service provider, a company that is going to actually issue you your paycheck. And you might be thinking, well, Carla, can I do that myself? You could, except for I do not recommend it because this is one of the biggest areas that business owners get into tax trouble when it comes to payroll taxes. So get a payroll service provider that will actually calculate your paychecks. They'll actually take the withholding out and they'll do the heavy lifting for you so you can focus on your business. The 4th step that you have to think about is making sure that your payroll taxes are filed every single quarter. Yes, I said quarter. See, when you have an income tax return, that's filed once a year. But payroll taxes require quarterly filings, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. See, this is why I told you, don't do it yourself because the payroll service provider will make sure that that gets done for you. And not only will they file your payroll tax returns, they will remit, pay over to IRS and the state revenue department the withholding that comes out of your paycheck. Remember, business owners, when we used to work for an employer and we got a paycheck and we were like, man, they're supposed to be paying me $500 a week, but my paycheck is only $300 a week. What happened to my money? Remember those days? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? That was the tax withholding that your employer kept, but they sent it in to IRS. They send it in to your state revenue department. When you become an employer and you go on payroll, you are responsible for doing that. And that's what your payroll service provider will do on your behalf. So you don't even have to worry about it. Definitely look into that. And the 5th step is making sure you issue a W-2 to yourself at the end of the year. You know those W-2s and tax forms we get that magically appear? Well, when you are an employer and you are paying your employees on payroll, and in this particular case, you will be an employee, you got to make sure you issue yourself a W-2 at the end of the year. And that's what lenders and banks look for. Very important that you issue that at the end of the year. So what are those things you have to do to make sure you're able to pay yourself correctly? You got to look at how much you're going to pay. You got to look at how often you're going to be paid. Select a payroll provider. You want to make sure they are doing your payroll tax returns and remitting your tax. And you want to make sure they issue that W-2 at the end of the year so that you can know exactly how much you got paid. And when you do that, you are going to be on track to command your income as a business owner. If there's one thing I can tell you is make sure you pay yourself. And when you do, your business is going to just blow up. And that is the reason why when you know better, you got to do better. And I want you to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can make sure you stay with me so I can educate you on all things tax.